All right, good morning or evening or afternoon or whatever it may be, fam. We are on to December 30th. I'm sorry, November 30th. I'm a month ahead. November 30th. This one's by Craig Bloomberg. It's called Jesus Deserves All the Attention. And as we go through this, consider what John Baptist's example shows us about Jesus. How is John's posture instructive for your own spiritual life, so that you may end up becoming glass? So as we do this, take a few deep breaths and kind of notice your body and how you're feeling, what you're thinking as we go through this. It says, he must increase, but I must decrease. I remember hearing this verse as a child and imagined Jesus growing bigger and bigger while John the Baptist shrank. The context of John's statement clarifies his meanings. John's disciples have told him that everyone is going to Jesus. So John declares he must become greater and I must become less. John's ministry began before Jesus's did. So when John watched the number of Jesus' followers grow from 0 to a lot more than John had, this could have been heartbreaking because the whole Judean countryside and all the people of Jerusalem had been going out in the wilderness to see John. The Gospel of John, however, consistently depicts John the Baptist merely as a witness, one who bears testimony to the identity and the greatness of Jesus. Each portion of today's two passages shows that John is explaining who he is and isn't, or who Jesus is. Jewish leaders from Jerusalem question John about his identity, and he denies being any kind of Messiah. He's just preparing the way for the Christ. Yes, he has a ministry of water baptism, but his status is greatly inferior to that of the coming one. John points out Jesus as God's sacrificial lamb, the one who will take away the sins of the world and who will immerse people into the power of the Holy Spirit. Later, when Jesus' followers have eclipsed John's numbers, John insists that this is fully appropriate. He likens himself to be the best man in the wedding, where Jesus is the groom. John's analogy in 3:29 is striking, particularly when we understand its cultural context. Ancient Jewish customs called for the best man to wait outside the bedroom when the bride and the groom consummate the marriage. Awkward. Traditionally, the groom would shout for joy to confirm their new marital intimacy, and the best man would share the joy. The Christian life is all about deferring more and more to Jesus, the mighty God. A generation later, Paul would say in Philippians chapter 1 that the important thing is that in every way Christ is preached, and because of this, I rejoice. I've recently retired, and I need to learn this lesson more than ever. Being in the limelight is not the point. Humbly magnifying Jesus is, and I need to shrink.